Welcome to the FnF Victory Road Draft League Season 2 playoffs. This is losers quarterfinals, and this is going to be a battle between Emberhoof's team, Rio Grande Rapidash, and Morgana's team, Northern Necrozmas. This is a set as a reminder, and as a set, it is going to be a best of 3. So the winner of the set must win 2 battles to advance on to the next round of losers bracket, which is losers semifinals. The loser will be kicked out of the playoffs, and whoever it is, they had a great run. Everybody's gotten at least 1 W in playoffs, so I think that's awesome. It's been a really fun experience so far. So let's take a look at this particular matchup. Looks very familiar. They have faced each other before in the regular season, and just a reminder, we have Z-Any, Tornadus Therian, Z-Attack Crocodile, and Z-Attack Verizon, as well as Mega Garchomp on Northern Necrozmas, no Mega on Rio Grande Rapidash. It does look like that. It does look like we could possibly see a Trick Room core for Emberhoof this time, just like last time, very reminiscent of his last battle. He will have to be careful, reminiscent of the last battle as well. Morgana bringing in Primarina. It is rather slow compared to a lot of his Pokemon and can use a choice spec set in Trick Room. Along with Conkeldurr with Guts, if it is minimum speed, it can outspeed Exploud, for example, in Trick Room. So he's going to have to be very careful of those threats. There are, of course, very fast Pokemon on Morgana's team, so he kind of has both bases covered as fast Pokemon and slow Pokemon. Ember is kind of in the middle. He does have quite a few fast Pokemon, some slow Pokemon that operate well under Trick Room. But this is going to be very interesting, to say the least. It's also going to be interesting to see how hazards are run in this set, considering that Morgana has no Defogger. Mantine, Chimley Manning, as he has called Mantine, is not appearing in this set. So, or rather in this battle, maybe in the next battle. But, so, we won't see a Defog coming from him. The only Defogger is Tornadus. So, Emberhoof is going to have a little bit more control over hazards in this game, depending on who decides to set them. That'll also be an interesting thing to observe. So I want to jump right in. This is going to be a very exciting battle. So without any further ado, let's begin. I'll also get that link so I could post it in the chat. All right. Yeah, overall, this is going to be really interesting. I'm actually really interested as well in Lantern and how it's going to manage in this battle. It does have Volt Absorb, so it can come in on Zeraora. Zeraora does have nice coverage, but it's something that could disrupt Zeraora a little bit, especially if it's choiced. It could also be a bulky switch in to Primarina. Primarina's Moonblast will still hit pretty hard, but Lantern can be relatively bulky on the special side, especially with an Assault Vest, which we have seen Ember run on Lantern before. It does look like Ember does not have any resistances to Moonblast coming from Primarina, so that's something that Ember is going to have to be careful of. Liability, the Crocodile, is the one to lead versus Ragnell, the Verizon. Of course, Ragnell being in an advantage, not only being a grass type, but also being a fighting type, whereas Crocodile does not want to face either of them. So Majin Buu comes in, and the substitute for Ragnell is now up. Interesting, we see a substitute go up. I'm wondering if Morgana maybe has a bulk up set that he's trying to use. We have the Z move coming. It's a Continental Crush. That's going to do big damage to Majin Buu, taking it down. One of the best answers, or rather the best answer Ember has to Ragnell is taken out. Dream Fetus, the Musharna, comes in. Of course, powerful psychic moves will not be something Ragnell wants to face. Musharna actually does not face much opposition from Morgana's team, considering Morgana has no dark types and no steel types. So Psychic is also another type that's going to be unresisted in this battle towards Morgana. So Morgana has those unresisted fairy moves. Ember has those unresisted psychic moves. And after a Calm Mind or two, Musharna could really be a big threat in this battle, especially if Trick Room is up. Ragnell's going to set up a substitute, and there is that Trick Room. Dream Fetus will now outspeed Ragnell. What will Ragnell do? If it has Synthesis, it can restore its HP that it lost from the substitute, but I'm not sure what it can do much in this particular matchup. Psychic is going to take down that substitute, and Ragnell goes for the Leaf Blade. It does decent damage, especially with that critical hit, but Dream Fetus is still relatively comfortable and can fire off another Psychic. Nothing is going to want to take a Psychic, but it goes for the Moonlight instead, actually, as another Leaf Blade is going to bring it down to 69%, this time not scoring that critical hit. Looks like Morgana is not... It does not mind losing Ragnell as it goes down to the Psychic. There's still one more turn left of Trick Room, and Dunban comes out. Risky move, considering that Musharna might be able to outspeed. Breloom Larson comes in to take that knockoff, and gone is that Life Orb, but Dunban is here now. Breloom can outspeed Dunban and go for a Spore. Now that Virizion is down, nothing will be immune to Spore unless it's carrying safety goggles. The score is 5-5. It's looking pretty even right now. Slight HP lead for Morgana. Dunban is here as well. It's not Statist, so it's not holding a Flame Orb. Might not be a Guts variant. Maybe it's a Choice Band variant. And we do see that Spore on Breloom Larson. On Dunban from Breloom Larson, as Dunban now falls asleep. Breloom now free to go for a Leech Seed. It's going to hit twice. This is probably a Technician Breloom. Dunban is staying in. Again, nothing really wants to come in on that Bullet Seed. Even Gengar, who resists it, will be hit pretty hard by Bullet Seed. It's looking advantageous for Ember right now. Bullet Seed hits again. This time it does 3 hits, and Dunban still falls asleep at 15%. This is a very valuable Pokemon to lose for Morgana, so this could be really harmful for him, especially in Trick Room, where it could threaten Musharna. Musharna, of course, being slower than Dunban in Trick Room if they're both minimum speed. And down goes Dunban to the Bullet Seeds, and Gunkerton, the Mega Garchomp, comes out. Not Mega Evolved yet. Breloom is at 72%. It is somewhat comfortable, but doesn't want to take a strong Outrage from a Mega Garchomp. It can take an Earthquake. I'm not sure about a Dragon Claw. It's all going to depend about that investment. Don't know if Breloom wants to stick around, but what can come in? It looks like Musharna's the one who comes in, and Gunkerton goes for the Stealth Rock. Musharna now free to go for another Trick Room, which could be very beneficial for Ember. I'm not sure if Garchomp is going to be able to take down Dream Fetus in one shot. It all depends on that investment from Musharna. I think Musharna, of course, very bulky for a Psychic type. Gunkerton might go for a Dragon Tail, maybe, if it's a defensive variant, but that Trick Room will be very beneficial to Ember. Looks like the Earthquake brings Dream Fetus down to 13%, and up goes that Trick Room. There's 4 more turns for Ember to utilize. Exploud is going to be really useful once Dream Fetus goes down. Looks like Dream Fetus wants to stick around. Earthquake's going to bring it down to 5%, though. This is a losing matchup for Dream Fetus, so it just goes for that Dazzling Gleam to bring Gunkerton down to 47%. Trick Room now up for 2 more turns as the Earthquake takes down Musharna, but this could be the last we see of Trick Room, as Musharna is now gone. And Jules Verne, the Lantern, comes in. It does have a balloon, so it won't be hit by any Earthquakes. It can go for an Ice Beam if it so desires against Gunkerton. We might see Primarina switch in, but I'm not sure. Maybe Zeraora instead, actually, because Gunkerton not going to want to be hit. Actually, Gunkerton stays in, and the Ice Beam takes it down. There's still 1 more turn left of Trick Room, so Lantern will outspeed each Pokemon except Primarina, but I'm not sure if Primarina will be able to take it down, as it's still pretty comfortable at an 88% HP here. Primarina is the one to come in, though. Lantern can go for some electric moves. Thunderbolt, Thunder, Volt Switch, whatever it decides to pack. And that Moonblast going to bring Jules Verne down to 15%. And Toxic is going to hit. Now that the Trick Room is gone, Lantern will go first as well. So Aerith does look like it's in trouble. That Discharge doing quite a bit, 39%, and down goes Jules Verne from the Moonblast. Score is 3-3. Very interesting matchup. Breloom is the next one to come in. It can possibly outspeed Aerith. It does, and one Bullet Seed is enough to take down Aerith. The score is 3-2. I think we'll see Gengar come in. If it's a Sash Gengar, it can go for a Sludge Wave right now. Pretty unopposed. Morgana does have a tendency to save Gengar for the end of the match, and if you don't get hazards up versus his Gengar, it can hold on. If it's holding a Sash, he does run Sash a lot on his Gengar. So this still could be his match. Gengar is quite the formidable force, and Skull the Gengar is indeed the one who comes out next. It will only take one Sludge Wave to bring down Breloom. It might just be in Ember's best interest to let Breloom go down so he could safely switch in Exploud or Crocodile to try and take down this Gengar. It looks like Gengar is not Focus Sashed, and Exploud comes in. It is a Life Orb variant. Not sure if it'll be able to take down Exploud depending on its investment. Sludge Waves brings it down to 14%. And the Boom Burst is going to take down Gengar. The score is now 2-1, and Zeraora is the last hope for Ember. Probably going to go for the close combat if it's Scarfed, so it could outspeed Crocodile. This could be it. It all depends on whether Jet Setter is Scarfed or not. I do think Crocodile is probably Scarfed. And we see that close combat. If it's Scarfed, this could be the game, because close combat might be able to take out Crocodile. Crocodile usually Scarfed too. We'll see what happens. And Jet Setter does go first, but it brings Crocodile down to 7%, and Crocodile goes for the Earthquake, taking out Jet Setter, and the score is 1-0 for Rio Grande Rapidash. What an intense ending to this battle. Wow. I thought that close combat would be enough to take down Crocodile, but it was not enough. Crocodile does have decent bulk for something that tends to be a sweeper. So, wow. What a battle. That was crazy. Really great match between these two trainers. 1-0 score for Rio Grande Rapidash, Emberhoof's team over Morgana's team, Northern Necrozmas, but we still have at least one battle coming to you in this set, and I'm sure it will be a good one just like this one, so stay tuned. Until then, this is Noel from Sun and Friendly, and hope to see you in the next match.